guys want to guess what kind of car I'm working on? 2007 Chevy Express. Alright, got cold in there. When you accelerate, the traction light will come on up in the top right hand corner. That's the easy part. So, quickly I take it out there for a ride. And do you see it? I hope so. I'll zoom it back out to what it originally looked like, where it's much harder to see. But again, this is the power of the tool that you're using. You can just barely make it out if you look here and there. Alright, so let me zoom it back in again and we'll look at it a little bit closer. You see that little smooth jump? Well, that smooth little jump right there, let me get for it a little bit closer there, is that left front wheel speed sensor jumping up, whereas the other ones ramp up. You see that right front wheel? See that little spike that's right there? Well, that's there every time you hit a little bump. So, this car is a double whammy. If you start driving down a road and you have that little jump and that little spike happening right around the same time, let's say you're pulling out and you're going over bumpy terrain, well, then you get what we can call an ABS holdback. So the brakes will be applied and you'll actually lose the throttle there momentarily. So it's just going to use its traction control. And that's all normal, basic, we've all done this 100 times kind of thing. But this car has a variable. It's something I wanted you guys to see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set these wheels outside nice and straight. Wheels are straight, set to the center. And I'm going to go, whoa, don't do that. Wouldn't want to do that. If I go into the data again, this time around I'm going to take out this and we're going to deselect all these. And we're going to look real quick at the difference between some tools. So, steering wheel position sensor, degrees, phase A, phase B. Take note of this entire list. Go back and look again if you have to. But I'll show you in a moment why that's important to me. And I want to go into list view. And right now it says that that steering wheel position sensor is at -8. Great. Okay. Let's turn that wheel. We'll go one full turn. Or roughly a turn. -296 degrees, right? Alright. I'm going to turn this key off. Let's wait for it to lose communication. I'll give it a couple of seconds more. And then I'm going to start it. And we'll hit retry. See? 8 degrees. Isn't that where we left off? No? But I thought we did. So, let's expand that a little bit. So it's 8 degrees. Meanwhile, we know we're not at 8 degrees. So is there actually a problem here? Well, let's see. I go fully to the right, and most I got out of that was -296. If I bring it back over to center, where center actually is, let me get that adjusted. Okay, we're back to center. Now we're at 288. Isn't that pretty much where we left off before? So, steering wheel position degrees on these things, you know, don't use that as your diagnostic spot. I'll do it again. I'll just shut the car off. We'll wait for it to lose communication. I won't even wait a couple of seconds this time. I'll just start it back up again, hit retry, and there you are, 8 degrees. Which is just about right. Probably about 8 degrees off. Well, anyhow, so 8 degrees. That's great. So remember, it only had steering wheel position degrees, phase A, phase B. What does that one have? Well, let's unplug this. And we'll plug that one in. And this is my answer to everybody whenever they ask me the question, you know, how's that tool? What's the best tool to buy? And I'll always tell you, all of them. Everybody hates to hear that, but it's the truth. So we gotta get that VCI going. Make sure that we're on. Yes, we are. Little PC connection light should start blinking. I think they could improve that. They can improve the time that it takes to get the Bluetooth connected again, but no worries. We'll still get to where we have to go. I'm already identified on the car because I disconnected it earlier. I'm going to customize the list, and we'll wait. And let's just go in there for our steering wheel position sensor. Steering wheel signal, steering wheel position. Where are those phase, and hit continue. So there's a new PID here, right? We have our analog voltage PID is there set up for the steering angle sensor. All right, so I'm going to expand that one more time and show you guys the weirdness of some of these. Whoops, there we go. No warranty, right? Anyhow, so let me turn that wheel to the left. Goes down, and what's that? 6 volts. Well, that's impossible, right? Can't have 6 volts. It's a 5-volt sensor. So what actually is happening there if I'm doing that? Look at the steering wheel position degrees. Look at this now. I'm still turning the wheel, but it's pinned at 4.29. I'll get it back over here to center. At center, if I just go right about there, that's our 8 degrees again. Right? That's actually what was 8 degrees. We're at 2.48 volts and it shows 0. If I keep on turning to the right, 576. Looks normal. Go back over here to the center. And there's center again. And again, I'm just going to go slow. I'm going to turn it to the left. I'll let you guys see the wheel as I'm doing it. I'm just going to go slow. And watch when we break that 2-volt mark. See that 2-volt mark? Wham, right there. Each and every single time. So what is that? It's a misinterpretation of data. That's what that is. And it happens on tool to tool. Snap-on probably realized that something like that was happening and they couldn't figure out how to get around it, so they just did away with it. That's why that PID wasn't there. So that PID in this case here is actually pretty much useless unless you have the factory tool set up on there. I'm not going to go through all that right now, guys, because I'm starting to get rain again. But I can promise you, with the factory tool on there, I did not have that. So, and neither did I have the 2040 degrees. So, in interpreting what tool you have and what tool you're actually using, it really means a lot if you sit there and you jump back and forth. I'm trying to do this with just aftermarket right now, just that way you guys can see. But you know, with aftermarket tools on there, it's, you know, sometimes you're going to have something that doesn't read quite right. But if you have another one to compare it to, you can say, you know what, they probably did it because of this, and that's wrong data. But that's okay, we can still fix the car. The actual problem with this car has nothing to do with steering position. It has everything to do with that one wheel speed, or I should say those 2 front wheel speed sensors, and more than likely playing that right front hub. But, you know, it's just something I wanted to show you, though, because, you know, some of these tools, sometimes they just don't cut it all the way. They get you enough. I mean, you can look at your phase positions on here on both of these tools and, you know, determine that they're going low and high. But as I've shown you before, though, sometimes you just need to have that analog voltage and have that analog voltage correct. So, yep, anyhow, that's all. Just wanted to show you guys that quick video. And obviously, if you have a you know, an acceleration traction light popping on, always look at those wheel speed sensors first. Now, there could have been a problem with the steering wheel position. It could have been that when the wheel was slightly turned and we start to accelerate, that it thinks we're in a rollover position. Let's say it was, I don't care, positive 360 degrees. If it thinks the wheel is turned and you're going out there to go enter onto a highway, but you have to make a sharp right and you have to pick up speed quickly, it's going to prevent that from happening, and you're going to get a traction light because it's looking out for rollover. So in that case, that wouldn't have helped. That wouldn't have helped. The factory tool is the only one that would have helped, and or looking at it with the little mini scope. So I tried to do all this just in case, you know, just to make sure that there was no problem with it before I gave you guys that info. And then just took it for a quick ride because I was sure it was a speed sensor anyway. But there you go, a little bit of information. Have a great day.